Hey guys, Henry here, back at you again with a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you what I've kind of constructed as my build for my first character in the new season of Last Epoch. I've been enjoying it a lot. I think that the game is in a much better space than it was, 7-8 months ago with that first season, or even at launch. I think it's in a much better game now. And the first character that I made was a shaman. More specifically, a primalist that is ascended into a shaman that does mostly lightning damage, attack speed, up close melee with some totems and some couple of birds. And so I kind of wanted to show you what I've done so far. I've just hit mapping, so I'm kind of just, blasting through the mapping. I think I got there last night on stream, and I've done a few maps already. It feels pretty good. Very quick, very high speed, a lot of jumping around, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunderbolts. I'm starting to feel like the Son of Odin, one of Odin's hidden sons, So let me kind of just walk you through what's going on, and at the very end of the video, I'll kind of show you a sample run-through of a map. You let me know what you guys think, and of course, as usual, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment below, and let me know what you guys think. And let's get started. So let's just start with the passive skill tree here. We have our basic core primalist tree. So I first went for strength for some increased damage on melee and health. I also grabbed some extra health here as well. And the very first thing that I grabbed that was very important for this build was the Harmony of Blades, which lets you dual wield melee weapons by allowing you to equip a sword and a sword or an axe in your offhand. And I also grabbed, of course, spell damage and minion damage because we're going to be using minions for this as well, and totems are considered a minion. At some point, I do plan on getting Elder Branch when I have more points. This will allow me to get more spell damage from me and my totem, which is also tripled if you have an axe in your left hand, which I do currently. So this is really good. I was thinking about getting Tempest Spawn as well, but the thing is, it's, lightning damage, which is nice, and it's doubled if I have a minion on the field, but the problem is that I don't do any physical damage. It's either melee lightning or spell lightning. So I don't feel like it's worth putting points into this right now. But yeah, that's just a thought. Alright, so let's move on to the Shaman Mastered section of the build. So we have first, we're going to grab the Sky Warrior for increased damage across both minion and myself. With 5 points, we have increased cooldown recovery to Fury Leap and Crow Storm. And then we put 1 point into here, and this way it unlocks the attack speed and cast speed with totems. We don't care about attack speed because it's a spell that we use for our totems for lightning totem. So max this out, of course. Then I got, of course, Fate Carver, 80% increased damage with totems, which is obvious. It's very nice to have. Increased lightning damage with Stormbringer and lightning resistance. I have so much lightning resistance; it's insane right now. I have I only have 101. Before, at one point, I had like 200%. It was insane. Next, we have Avatar Thunder. We're going to go for the extra shared lightning spell damage again. And for 3 points, I have extra lightning penetration per 5 attunement, which is nice to have. Then I went for the Dervish, just to have the 1 point to Dervish to get the next one, which is also next melee attack, lightning damage plus 6 every 3 seconds. This is every 3 seconds, so I don't plan on maxing this out right away. It's because, if you max out the points, but it's every 3 seconds... And I kill stuff usually with under 3 seconds, so I don't really see myself needing this right now. Maybe later, when the enemies or the bosses have like an insane amount of health. Next, I immediately got the Thunder Strike. So your melee attacks have a chance to cast a Stormbolt on hit. So a 40% chance, and 4 points in this will give you 10% more attack speed, which is great for this build because the whole point of this is to build as many Stormbolts and lightning buffs as possible while attacking. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but we'll go over that in the skill trees in a second. And lastly, I grabbed Conflux, which gives you more area for area skills, but most importantly, less damage taken from shocked enemies. This build depends a lot on shocking enemies, so having this is really good because you're taking 8% less damage from everything. And of course, we also have a 20% chance below with the 5-point bonus. We have a 20% chance for an indirect Stormbolt to double cast, which is really nice. At some point, though, I'd like to grab more spell damage, most likely for totems, and myself, but right now this is kind of what I have so far. I don't really find myself needing to grab stuff like resistance or elemental resistance for the totem, because at no point have I ever felt that the totem has died so fast that I need to get more life and more resistance on it. It's pretty tanky as it is already, so you don't really need that early. Maybe you want to get that later when you're trying to build your defenses, but right now just focus on getting mostly damage, lightning damage, penetration, flat damage, spell damage, all that stuff. All right, let's go over the skill tree. So first off, for my right click, I'm using Gathering Storm, and the way that it works is that whenever you strike an enemy, at least one enemy or more, you build a storm stack, and every second you expend a storm stack, you cause a storm bolt to strike. So every second, you gain a storm stack whenever you attack, and then you lose one every second, and this storm stack can stack up to like 15 or more. And every time one of the buffs goes away, a lightning bolt from the sky comes called Storm Bolt, and it strikes a nearby enemy at random. And this interval is reduced by 2% for every storm stack you have. So the more stacks you have, the faster the buff goes away, which is a good thing, which means more lightning bolts, more damage. Okay? So first off, I grabbed the Wind Flurry, got 1 point here, went down for the lightning penetration, then went to Excited Bolts for the current mana consumption, deals more damage, and lastly we got the Storm Bolt while dual wielding. So if you're dual wielding, you can cast Storm Bolts on 2 enemies at a time, so it's double the amount of Storm Bolts, which is double the amount of damage. It's obviously really good. 2 is like 100% more than 1, so we want to grab that. If you feel like you're having mana troubles, just grab the Mana Infused Storm. This will be more important later when you're attacking more fast. So when you're attacking more quickly, you want to build more mana because of your other skills that will cost more mana, like, your Lightning Storm Totem and your Birds and your War Cry and your Leap. If you need more mana, this is a really good way of getting it back. I also grabbed this here, Island Cleaver. Gathering Storm melee attack deals in a larger area, and you have a chance to gain additional storm stack if you hit at least 3 enemies or more with the same attack. So because you're fighting like groups of 20 or 30 guys, this is really good for building additional storm stacks, and because of the added melee area, you're hitting more people, more storm stack chance, which in this case is 100% because it's maxed out at 4. I did not grab Energy by the Skies because with this, how this works, you have a 25% chance for your right click, your Gathering Storm, to actually take more, to consume mana. The problem is that I attack so quickly that if I were to put points into this, I would have like no mana in like 5 seconds. So, I am losing some damage here, but I'm okay with that because I'd rather have the mana to be able to cast everything else because it kind of makes up for it. But we'll talk about the other skills in a bit. I then moved over to grab Storm Bolt Chance. So again, whenever you expend a storm stack, you have a chance to cast a Storm Bolt, an additional enemy. So that's 3 bolts now. We're at 3 bolts every time. This is a chance, though, so it's not guaranteed. And then we have whenever you hit a boss or a rare enemy with a Storm Bolt, you have a chance to cast it again at the same enemy after a quarter second. So that's another bolt. That could be 4 potential bolts. So it's just a lot of bolts being thrown out. And then lastly, we have, Jolting Strikes, which gives you a chance to shock and melee damage to shocked. So because I'm attacking so quickly, and I have an item on my character that is basically guaranteeing me a shock stack, this is really good because I'm constantly shocking enemies, which means more damage, more chances to stun, and less resistance to the enemy's lightning resistance, which is all really like 3 really good things to have for this build. And at that point, you want to basically just want to max out the lightning penetration, the attack speed, and the storm stack chance, all that stuff. So next we have Summon Storm Totem. The very first thing that I grabbed, of course, was the cast speed. Went to area. More area is nice to have. More damage at the cost of extra mana, but that's okay because, like I said before, we have Mana Fused Storm, which generates more mana as we keep attacking, so we're fine on mana. More melee lightning damage, and of course I got Discharge, so when the lightning I might change this. I don't know how good this actually is because I never have an issue where most mobs die by the time Storm Totem finishes, unless it's like a major boss. So I'm wondering if maybe I should replace this and put this somewhere else, but again, I have Discharge for now so that when the Storm Totem does die, it casts Lightning Nova, so more damage in an AoE. I then grabbed 2 to Shock Chance, only because I want to unlock this. I don't want to max Shock Chance anywhere on this table because I already have like 197% chance or 160 something percent chance to shock anyway, so I don't really need any more shock chance. So I just put 2 points here, went to exploit weakness, hit damage against shocked enemies 45%, max this as soon as possible. This is very good if you are consistently shocking your enemies. And then I just basically maxed out Lightning Raider, and I also want to max out Intensity. I'm still thinking about where I want to put the rest of my points. I might put the rest into Shock Fury just for the more melee. Next we have Storm Crows. This is very good too. I immediately grabbed Avis just to get the 1 point to unlock Aspect of the Crow. So with how this works is that you have, Storm Crow has a chance to grant you a buff called Aspect of the Crow for 8 seconds, which will just appear on the bottom. You'll see it in the gameplay when I show you later. You'll see at the very bottom, or at the very beginning of the video too, I'll put it there. At the very bottom left, you'll see a little crow icon that appears once in a while, and every time you have that, you have more lightning damage, melee lightning damage, and more spell lightning damage for every stack you have. So definitely max this out. I'm going to max it out on my next level most likely. Grab this, which every 10 seconds, the Storm Crows can cast Wisdom of the Storm on a near ally, giving it another aspect of the Crow, just like this one. So it's another, they cast it as a spell. And then I grabbed this one, Arborist, which is the Wisdom of the Storm that gives that said buff that I just talked about. No longer has a cooldown. So you'll see in the video, you'll see the crows are constantly spamming this spell on my totem. So when you get this, they can only cast it on the totem. They can no longer cast it on you. However, when it casts it on the totem is hitting like a truck. So this is really good. Grab that right away. If you don't use totems too much, you can get rid of this and just max out this one here and this so that it's casted more on yourself. And then I grabbed Shocking Display. Again, shock chance, lightning resistance, not that important. I just wanted the 2 points to grab this next one, which is similar to Storm Totem. We have Storm Breath, which gives more damage per shock stack, up to a maximum damage of 90% increased damage, which is crazy high. Then we have Fulminating Claw, which increases your lightning damage and also applies to your Storm Crows, but at a reduced effectiveness. So any increases to yourself, your crows get 60%. I think it goes up to maybe like 90% or something. I don't know what it is at max level, but any increased damage that you get, your crows also get. Which is good because you can spam your Crow Storm more often and kind of just nuke the enemy. We have Crow Storm damage, 120% increased damage, and stun chance, which is nice because they're already shocked, so the chances of them getting stunned is insanely high. We have Crow Storm area, so just bigger area, more shock chance. I want to put 1 point here because I don't want the shock chance to be any higher than what it is right now. And then I maxed out Thunderous Blast, which is more damage per crow, and the cooldown length of Storm Crow is even faster now. Or Crow Storm, sorry. Crow Storm is more often, 12% more often, because it's, the cooldown's going down. Next we have Warcry. Warcry is very straightforward how it works. It just stuns everything, which is again more stun because you're shock and stun and all that stuff. So I immediately went for, so here, Warcry, Invulnerability. You definitely want to grab this first. Invincibility is great. More melee damage. You attack faster, more damage, berserk stacks. So when you Warcry and you attack, you build stacks, and I'll show that in the video, of course. We can stack up to 10, and we can also increase how long the berserk duration lasts and increase our maximum stats. So I have a maximum stack of 15 berserk stacks. So I'm attacking mad quick. Don't grab this because this is only good if you have a raptor or a bear, which I'm not using. Attack speed per berserk stack plus 12%. Attack speed at maximum, so 48% more attack speed, which is insane. Then I immediately went down to spell physical. So Warcry now hits enemies and deals spell physical damage, which is good because I have increased the spell damage on my build. We're going to grab Hastily Advance for haste duration, so when you're hasted, you move faster. Mana efficiency and haste duration, so it costs less mana and you move faster for longer. Frenzy, which gives you an insane amount of attack speed and cast speed, so 20% increase. Does not stack, though. Keep that in mind. And that's basically all I'm going for now. So I'm going to max this out, max that out. I might grab some healing, or maybe some... I might switch it out for fear. I don't know. I kind of like having the stun, to be honest with you, because the stun interrupts the bosses that can't cast anything. And next lastly, we have Fury Leap. So this is your primary traversal skill. So first off, I immediately grabbed Panther Strike, got 2 points in this, went right for the immune while leaping. Again, very good. Invulnerability, cannot be hit at all. More area, less mana cost. Now when you jump, you gain Lagon's Wrath, which is you gain Storm Bolts while you're in the air. And then this one here makes it so that you have more Storm Bolts more frequently, so they happen like twice as fast. And lastly, we got spell damage for per 2 attunement, and chance for Storm Bolt to reset your Fury Leap by 30%, with a 30% chance to happening. So when you're jumping through the air, because I have so many Storm Bolts coming down from the sky, there's a chance that I'll get another Fury Leap again, so I can jump once and then jump again. But the reset of your cooldown, keep in mind, you cannot jump. You can't reset the jump more than once every 5 seconds. So this is just a really nice for mobility. For the last 3 points, I'll probably just grab the melee damage and spell damage. And if I have... Actually, no, I should be maxed out on points by then. Yeah, so I'll just put everything basically into damage at that point. Alright, that pretty much covers the build. As far as the gear is concerned... Oh yeah, this is very important. This is probably the most important part of the build right here, is Stormtide. I just got lucky with this find. I basically found a pair of boots that gives you 177% chance to shock on any lightning hit. So anything that does lightning, which is a lot of it, so Storm Bolts, my character, the Crows, the Storm Totem, has a chance to shock, and shock can stack up to 10 stacks, which gives you more chance to stun, more damage because they have less lightning resistance, and yeah, it's just really good, and the duration's increased by 13%. And it basically this helps the build a lot because a lot of my damage comes from shocking enemies. The rest of it is just minion damage, lightning damage again, elemental damage, spell damage. This all counts towards your lightning, minion damage, minion health. The rest is just all finding resistances, spell damage, spell minion damage. This is a really good one. Melee attack speed, again, melee lightning damage. The rest will just, for your defenses, will just be resistances, of course, and health, which is very obvious because by the end of the game you have your damage already. You just want more survivability. So, and also build armor, of course, because you're going to be in melee range, so you want to have armor to be able to at least absorb some of the hits. And for idols, I've just been looking for basic resistance and health stuff. I haven't found anything super... There is one for some of the primalist idols. There is some that give you extra lightning damage. However, I haven't really found any good ones yet. I would assume at some point I'll find some better ones. But yeah, that's the build. Let me know what you guys think. I think I did pretty good so far for my first ever build. So lately I've been doing builds without referring to a build, like a guide at all on the internet. I'm making my own builds now, and it's a much more enjoyable experience. I highly recommend that you do the same. Because making a build on your own and it coming together is a very wonderful feeling, and it's very addicting, and it makes you want to learn the game more and play it more. So yeah, just do that. Try if you fail, no big deal. Start over, re-roll, respec. It's pretty easy to correct your mistakes in this game. Again, let me know what you guys think. I think I did a pretty good job, and yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the new season. Hope to see you all very soon, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.